Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and if you look behind me, you can see why I am grinning. It has been a long time coming, but I am very excited to see the first of our J-Feather Micros rolling in here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is an awesome new offering from Jayco that really broke a lot of molds for them and took them in places they had never really been before. And when you enjoy our floor plan in a flash, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. So this is one of the first times Jayco's really made an Azdel product. There's a lot of Azdel on the inside and outside of the laminated walls here. It's a little bit bigger, but it really kind of falls into the category of something like a Rockwood GeoPro that we'd have here at Haylett RV, and I like that we have an AB option for you. They're both going to do some things that the other does not. Like this is a 7'6" wide body, which gives it the ability to have some floor plans that are a little bit different and unique. And I tell you what, it might weigh a little bit more, but they really capitalized on making sure it had tons of storage in that wider body space. We've got a solar package on it, which is optional, but you also have the big off-road package, Morite stable steps, just all sorts of goodness. And of course, being a Jayco, you've got Goodyear tires and that best-in-class 2+3 incomparable warranty for plenty of peace of mind. And I know my videos typically run long, guys, but I know that if you're serious about making a purchase, you would really appreciate all the information. And since this is a brand new series of trailers, I'm probably going to be a little more extra detailed even compared to normal, since there's not a lot of historical data to pull from. So this is a completely carpetless series of campers. Part of that is because this has a above-the-floor slide system and naturally just requires no carpet. I know I'm going to get questions asking, can we outfit this with a theater seat? And the answer is no, because that slide out doesn't actually go all the way to the floor. What looks like the face of it right here, that is actually where the slide stops. So if you put a theater seat in that, your head would be in the cabinet and your feet would be dangling off the floor like the back of Daddy's Studebaker. You've got the nice blackout privacy shades all around. And this is where you start to see some of the differences here compared to some other similar products. They are just, there's tons of lights in here. The lights are screaming in this thing. And what's also handy is you have one switch to control them, but they can all be individually clicked off. You will also see, because this does have a slightly wider body and it's a little taller. It's 6.5 foot tall inside, which is normal height, but a lot of things in this class are only 6'1" on the sidewall. Now they might vault in the ceiling, but this is just bigger all around. That's part of the reason it weighs 4,170 pounds, not like 3,600 pounds, but you're getting a lot for it. And really, a lot of what you're getting is storage, and we will see all the storage opened up on this in a minute. This right here, what is nice about it, with this being 7.5 foot wide, that is an 80-inch long bed. It's 54 wide, which I know some folks aren't going to like, and I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way instead of answering that question in the comments about 36 times. And if you appreciate the fact that we're willing to tell you, what is potentially not a desirable feature, definitely hit that subscribe button, follow along, and give our team here the chance to work with you, because you know that we'll shoot you straight. Now, up here on the headboard of the bed, which instead of getting just a long bed or a headboard, you're getting both, you got the household set of outlets, the dual USB plugs, or you could slot it down away with that little handy pop-up power tower. Now, if you're noticing, I had to pull a curtain out of the way there, and where that's going to be very handy is if you are sleeping somebody like a guest over here on this fold-down sleeper sofa that we'll see in just a minute, it is very handy to have that privacy shade pulled to give yourself a nice visual break point. Or perhaps you just want to lay on the bed, change a pair of clothes or something, or anything like that. There's a bunch of different reasons you could utilize it. I will give you one little pro tip. Whenever a curtain like this is next to a slide, you got to make sure it doesn't get kind of caught in the slide. So when you're opening the slide up, make sure you kind of flip that curtain up out of the way, all right? Now, the thing is, people say, well, why don't they move the curtain somewhere else? There's not really a lot of other great places to put it, so it just kind of has to be what it is. And now it's not hidden so that people see it. I tell you what do we want to talk about next? Entertainment. There's a lot to cover in this RV, and I love that they adopted one of my ideas on this. You saw on the floor plan in a flash footage when that TV swung open, and that will actually be your hanging wardrobe closet behind that. That is something that when I walked through the prototype, that was an idea that I put together, and they said, that's great, because we don't have anywhere to hang our clothes in here. And above that, every J-Feather Micro in a different location, and the one that makes the most sense, you're going to have one of those XL vent fans. And you've got maximum breeze-through windows on the sidewalls of this thing. So if you're going to be off-grid, you've got a bathroom vent fan that'll handle just the bathroom. That'll handle the living room. It'll really pull in a lot of great airflow in here. And I think it is finally time to start looking at storage. And folks, there's no shortage of it in here. Now, like all Jaycos, you've got pocket screwed cabinetry, and something they're always good about is using those nice metallic struts to keep the baggage doors up out of the way so you don't have to juggle it with your head. And you can see there's legit, that's not just the idea of a cabinet, there's a lot there. Similarly, above the bed area up front here, this is even larger. You can go storage crazy up here. And that's the thing. This is a little bigger, a little heavier. You've got a lot more cabinet space to show for it. And you can go, you can really pack this thing heavily if you're interested. Now, down below here, they took my idea and their original concept and they combined them and they did better than either of us ever initially intended. So you've got dual big dresser drawers down there. And my original closet idea was kill 2 of these drawers and make a closet behind the TV, but they kept all 4 drawers. Instead, they had these little funky pockets all the way up at the ceiling that weren't good for anything. And they just kind of paneled them off. Nice shiny glass and makes it look great. And check this out right here. Pull that lever and it's like the Legend of Zelda. The TV opens and it becomes like a cabinet space in here. Now, if you're looking, that is like one of those little swivel side stands that we saw on the, oh, what am I wanting to say? Sofa. Well, that was hard. And you've got a shelf here. Now, if you want to remove that, if you want to convert that into hanging closet space like you see up there, you can do all of that. And when it's time to put this away, that's all there is to it. Now, for entertainment, this is actually pretty cool because this does everything. This is our HD TV. It can pivot toward the bed, obviously, but it has an integrated sound bar, basically. So the TV, the sound bar, the entertainment, they are all in one. So if you want to like plug in like an HDMI Roku stick or something like that, she is capable of doing so. And when the TV pivots out like that, it is just about as easy as can be to get to. Now, similarly, over here, it's what I call storage galorage. Every little nook and cranny they possibly had available. They utilized everything over here. So let's start down below. But now you have an oven option. That is a gas oven is an optional piece of equipment. A convection microwave is an optional piece of equipment. I think. Maybe I got that wrong. This is still new. Maybe the one or the other might not be available. I don't know. I'm still trying to get all that figured out. If you have questions, definitely give our sales team a call. We'll grab the build sheet. I see so many RVs every day, folks. I apologize that I don't have that faxed 100% straight right now. And the option sheet on this camper has changed a little bit since it was first introduced and announced. So I'm still kind of learning those details, and it's a brand new series. But massive drawer space. And then over here below the sink, more drawer space. Big space for your, dish soaps and all that good stuff. You've got sealed edge countertop materials through the whole camper. I love that flush mount Furrion stovetop giving us some extra prep space. And that is a countertop to cabinet bottom backsplash there. And that is a breeze through window. We already talked about the pocket screwing on the cabinetry, but I don't want to miss an opportunity to show you anything. And they could have gone with a bigger 2-basin sink right here, a double sink, but you need some dedicated prep space. And by the way, there's some outlets right down below that as well. Plus the old Jaybird barley popinator right there for the barley pop. But the funny thing is J-Feathers always come with 2 sink covers. They come with one dish drying rack and then one cutting board style. I don't know if it was intentional, but they still shipped both with this J-Feather, which leads me to believe that is intentional. Now, it is kind of cool, because if I need a cutting board, I've got it. And it slots down into that sink perfectly. Or, if I'm doing some dishes and need to dry them off, I have this guy over here. So they both make sense to me. And just so you can see what kind of size you're working with, that's pretty fair, considering the smaller size of this RV. I don't think it's insufficient by any regards. Now, over here, below whichever refrigerator is present on the J-Feather Micro that you're looking at here at Hadelit RV, you'll always have that drawer, and you'll always have that awesome pantry space to the left of the refrigerator over there. But the fridge could be different from what you're looking at. Now, this is probably how we're going to build them. The standard refrigerator in here is a 6 cubic foot gas electric 2-way RV fridge. So very good for boondocking off-grid use, because you can flip it over to propane mode, but still being park capable. What we're looking at right there, though, is the optional larger 10.7 cubic foot 12 volt DC compressor fridge. So it's no, that's 8.7 cubic feet. I'm sorry. So many of these are 10.7. I'm getting my numbers jumbled up, and there's so much going on. I'm looking around like, what else do I need to talk about? Anyway, 8.7 cubic feet, 12 volt compressor fridge upgrade. So it's bigger capacity than the standard fridge. It is 100% traveling safe and friendly. It only draws 3 or 4 amps once it's down to temp. So the roof solar package that's on this and one battery that you get at no additional charge from Haylett RV could run that fridge for about 17 days according to Furion's testing. That's assuming some good weather scenarios, obviously. But to give you an idea, you can spend a long time off-grid with this thing if you are so inclined. And it doesn't have to be level to operate. There's a lot of benefits to it. I want to get all that put away too so you can see everything not all blown up with all the everything everywhere. And that is a full 13,500 BTU air conditioner, by the way. And even with boots and a hat at 6'3", I can walk under that and my head will never touch it. So it is nicely sized. That's one of the benefits of a 6.5 foot ceiling. You'll see a little bit more of that when we get into the bathroom area. Now blinking over there is our 30 amp charge controller that comes with the roof solar package. We'll get up top and take a look at that. We kind of saw that cabinetry open. I want to give you a little bit more info and details on this sofa down here. So during the day, this is obviously going to be our primary hangout space. But what is also kind of cool is that can fold down and give us a nice little individual bonus sleeper. So it's, you know, it's really a singles or couples camper, but if you have a guest, you can make it work, or like a big Doberman or whatever. Now, also hidden behind that is this like very nicely sized, generously sized picnic table. You can use it inside. You could take it outside if you're so inclined. There's a bunch of different ways you could use that, and I love how they're giving us household and USB outlets anywhere that you're going to sit or sleep, basically. Now, over here through the bathroom, a lot of Jaycos are very good about this, including a locking bathroom door. And we'll see the RV with the slide closed, but right next to the door, entry door, is the bathroom here, so it's always going to be traveling friendly. You know, foot flush stool here, like, it's not a massive bathroom, but I had enough space in here, and really that's kind of what a little camper's bathroom is going to be. It's not going to be a big luxury fifth wheel bathroom space. It's going to be enough space. I can get in here, I can do my business, I can take a quick shower and get out, I can, you know, sit on the toilet, do whatever I got to do there. It gets the job done. I do like, though, that they still gave us a big sink over here, which is something I always look for and appreciate. And you'll notice GFI outlets, easy reach light switches, and towel, either, you know, like a hand towel rack or, you know, bathing towels, beach towel, a little space to put all kinds of things. There's just a lot of good details that went into this. I think we've pretty much cooked the interior now. And a real quick look with the slide closed before we go outside reveals that just like something like the 19 FBS Geo Pro here at Haylett RV, you do not need to open the slide to use this camper. That drawer on the bottom left is literally the only thing that we cannot use in this RV with the slide closed. It is otherwise 100% turtle friendly. So I guess overall it's 99.7% turtle friendly. And folks, that's good enough for me. And what's kind of cool here is this is basically built like any other J-Feather. We have laminated walls, laminated floor, and they've got that heavy-duty Jayco Magnum Truss roof system that you always hear Jayco talk about and me talk about in Jayco videos. Thing is, it does one thing, well, two things really, very different from a common Jayco. The first of which is that they are using Azdel like crazy in this, and they're not using it just under the fiberglass where it's laminated. They're using it on both the inside and outsides of the laminated wall. And I point that out because that is very uncommon, and that is a loud tractor trailer. But hey, well, that guy's just trying to make a fair earning. I can respect that. So, like a lot of Azdel using brands, people go, oh, does it have Azdel? Well, most of the time, an Azdel using RV is only using Azdel just under the fiberglass. It's still more wood, Luan, than Azdel, but not here. Now up front, we've got that handy power tongue jack doing the heavy lifting for us, and dual 20-pound propane tanks with a hard shell cover and auto changeover regulator so that you can spend more time off-grid, and easy to exchange those 20-pounders on a Sunday. You will see it's got standard roof solar prep. We've built this one with the solar option, but it always has a simple side solar prep plug. So if you're going to be off-grid and you want to, you know, park in the shade and just put a little portable panel out in the sun, you can do that. Now this is one of the more uncommon qualities that you're going to find on these. Some people call them brush bars, some people call them Nerf bars or whatever. Whatever they are, they're pretty cool. And where they can be handy is if you need just an extra little toe to stand on something because like maybe you're locking a kayak down or helping somebody get the kayak up on the roof, they give you that extra little thing right there. And since this is a camper made to get a little bit more off the beaten path, I think that that will help kind of prevent some sidewall scuffage and keep the camper looking good long term. Like all your Jaycos, you've got those tinted windows right there. And as we get back behind the slide out, look how short this is. 20 foot tip to tail, nose to tail, 20 foot total. so it's easy towing. You know, you don't feel intimidated with this thing behind you. But behind the slide, we got a full black tank flush, outside utility shower right above the Stinky Slinky hookup station, and we got a handy little Stinky Slinky toting tube back here. Another thing I want to point out, of which there are many, 4-corner stabilizer jacks. A lot of little single axle campers have only rear stabilizer jacks, and they expect the tongue to do the work. And they will. The camper's not going to flip over or anything like that, but it will be wiggly jiggly when you're on a campsite. And I don't think anybody likes that when they're inside a camper. I think everybody wants everything to be a little more sturdy and stable, and that's what the 4-corner jacks are going to get you. Now on a Rockwood GeoPro, if you upgrade to the Pro Rack roof mounting system, you get the same ladder that is standard here on the Jayfeather Micro. It is removable. It is rated for up to 300 pounds versus 200 like a normal RV ladder. So once again, everything being a little bit heavier duty kind of comes standard on one of these. I am happy to see, compared to their prototype, the spare tire was mounted way up here. I like that they brought that down a little bit. And it's actually mounted in 2 points. So it's got, this is really holding the weight, and there's a bracket at the top really just providing stability. That's extra steel and engineering they put into this. They probably didn't have to, but nobody's ever going to regret. And I love the rear diamond plate back here. So if you're backing into a place that has some brush, because this area does not have the brush guards, it will really help keep that knocked down. Now, if you're looking at the taillights, you see a white element in the middle. This RV, like all Jayco travel trailers, has their J Smart lighting package, and that was convenient. Didn't intend to do that, but here's a great little visual reference point. You see all what looks like the Wi-Fi signals coming off of that truck and trailer? That is where the lights are going to be. So when you turn on your turn signals, all of the clearance lights down this side of the RV are going to flash right along with it, so that other drivers on the road got a clue of what you're doing. And when you're backing up, it gives you more light so you can see what you're doing. Very handy if you have a spotter or choose to use a backup camera, as it is prepped for. And they packed 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound sack on the front side of this thing over here. You got that power awning opened up, easy tilt arms. I'm going to close that pretty quickly because it is fairly breezy today, but I did want you to see everything you could see on one of these, because I know this is probably one of the first videos of these campers ever to really get released, other than my prototype video that we recorded from Haylet RV. Now over here, it has triple step MORryde steps, which normally on a little camper like this, you'll see doubles, but it is a little bit bigger, a little heavier duty. Remember, it does weigh a couple pounds more, but they wanted to go with the triple step, so you didn't have to be quite the mountain climber to get in and out of there. Now over here, this is something pretty spectacular. Goodyear Wrangler tires. Jayco uses Goodyear tires all over the place, and as far as I know, they're pretty much the only supplier in this RV segment still using Goodyears. When you start going to off-road tires, even other Goodyear users, like the Rockwood GeoPro, they still go back to a non-Goodyear tire, even though they use Goodyears everywhere else. So 87-mile-an-hour rated, heavy-duty kind of stuff, and I love that galvanized steel wheel well in there, so that if you are flinging rocks off those, you're good to go. And notice the little kind of effect lighting. And that is actually on both sides of the RV, not just over here. Now, the Blackstone griddle that we're looking at is awesome for a few reasons. First of all, it is just categorically a superior cooking surface when you're outside camping. But secondly, Jayco appears to currently be the exclusive user of Blackstone products in their RVs. Not the Sunbeam copy, but the actual Blackstone brand. And it's they're including the handy little kind of removable prep table here. It's got these funky little hooks where if you've got your little spatulas and stuff, you can hook them on there to keep them up off the ground. You've got the same thing actually over here on the side of the actual Blackstone mount itself. And that Blackstone mount is not bolted to that stand that's hanging off the trailer. So if you want to use it on that portable picnic table that we saw inside the RV, you can do that as well. Little mini fridge here. Some people are going to ask, what is under the TV area? That's the mini fridge that you have outside. I know a lot of folks are also going to ask, can you order it without that? And the answer is no. That is a standard factory feature, but if you don't want it, we just take it out before you leave here from Haylet RV. No sweat. Over here, under the magnet held back pass-through compartment door, you have yourself a nice large amount of storage, which, considering a little trailer, having a full big pass-through like that, that is not a guaranteed find. That is an awesome feature to have here. Little outlets on the outside for running some little, outdoor appliances, or like my daughter would love the bubble machine. And you see that we are both side and rear view camera ready. And this does have the J Smart lighting system. So if that marker light is blinking along with those safety smart lights, it will not cause the camera to blink out, because Jayco actually runs separate power lines, one for the signal and one for the camera. Now, one of the first things I want to note is simply the fact that you can walk all over the roof up here. This has the same Magnum Truss roof construction that you find in any J-Feather, really, which means this RV has more roof load rating than anything else in this class. Now, we are looking at the optional solar panel package that you can apply to these J-Feather micros. I think you're pretty much going to find that 10 times out of 10. A GeoPro, something like that, would be standard on these J-Feather micros here. It actually is an optional piece of equipment because not everybody is gonna be an off-grid warrior or something like that. But it is capable of, accommodating folks like that. Or some people want to be able to build their own solar package. Now, over there, you see that little black kind of bar right there. If you choose to add the ProRack roof kayak mount type system, that is where that would be located. You can see though that we haven't applied that to this J-Feather in this video. And if you appreciate all the in-depth info that you get here from Haylett RV, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along, because we've got plenty more tours like this coming, not to mention a bunch of how-tos, comparisons, and all kinds of things. And if you like what you see in the camper, we sure would appreciate if you gave our family-owned and operated facility the opportunity to earn your business. It doesn't matter if you're near or far, they're on wheels. We can get them there. That's what we do. We're a big dealership in a small town, working with folks who ain't close to home is pretty much what we do every single day. So whether you need hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, or anything in between, remember the only thing that we don't do at Haylett RV is hidden dealer fees. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone. Hey everybody, just a little bonus footage here for you, a little helpful info from your Uncle Josh the RV Nerd at Haylett RV. If you appreciate stuff like this, give us a call. When I first had the camper arrive here, I went to pull the steps down and I went, uh-oh, the step bracket hits the door. So I stepped around the corner and I went, uh-oh, the door is already all the way open, because I thought maybe that was the problem. And I sheepishly admit, I had actually sent a message to the Jayco people going, what the heck, guys? Nobody figured this out? But here's the thing. I'm an idiot. They're smart. If you look, this actually has a custom bracket that can pull out of the way so that you can drop the steps right here. Now, what you got to make sure of is if you're not careful, you can actually allow the steps to go too far into the RV. So always pay attention to what you're doing. Keep an eye on that bracket. And once you know that's there, this is super simple and easy to use. But if you're an idiot like me and you ran your mouth before you figured it out, then you're going to be embarrassed. So don't be like me. Do a better job. Stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.